Hello, my name is David Little, and welcome to my demo reel. First, I have 3 videos I'm going to show you. A news video, a stop-motion video, and an abstract video. After the videos, I'm going to show you my graphics package. These are all parts of projects that I made for school while attending Western Iowa Tech. The first video comes from an assignment where we were told to make a news story. Schools had just been shut down due to COVID-19, so there weren't many options here. Luckily, as stated in my resume, I was helping my church at the time record online services. I decided to interview my church's pastor for him to talk about how the church was creating online services during the pandemic.
Hi, I'm Eric Sevig. I'm the pastor at Community of the Cross Lutheran Church in Bloomington, Minnesota. And the coronavirus pandemic and the quarantining, everyone staying home order came really during the middle of the season of Lent here at church. So we had to change how we were doing all of our worship from that point. And so we stopped doing any in-person gatherings, including worship, and we went to doing videos online. And so David Little was recruited. Luckily, he was home from school, and so he brought in his camera and he filmed all of our services. We gathered people to play music. We gathered readers and a variety of different readers to keep the videos interesting. And then we just recorded abbreviated services. David captured them on his camera and then edited them with his software at home and then posted them online so that our office manager could retrieve them. And then she's posting them for people on our website, and we are communicating to all of our membership and anyone who is, we have their email addresses about the new services each week. We time them to come out a few hours before the normal time that those worships would take place. And then we send it out to a link in the email to our website, and we've been able to watch, and we've had anywhere from 75 to 200 people watching each of the various services. And in addition to David and the various readers, we've recruited a number of different musicians to come in, and David's been able to work with them to either record preludes and postludes where the music is the background and the video is of familiar scenes in the sanctuary. Or we've had them come in to do special music where David will film the actual musician as they perform their selection. And then we've also, for those who can't come into the church to do recordings or be with us on the days where we do a couple of services at a time, then we are asking them to record their own videos at home or work, wherever they are, of their musical pieces, and then submit those to our office managers, or to David, I guess, either way, so that somehow David gets a hold of them and can edit them into the services.
This next one is very short. This is part of a stop-motion project. Our teacher has a bunch of AT-AT figurines and had us create stop-motion animations with them. He told us to be very careful to not have our hands in the shot while we were taking pictures, so I decided to do the exact opposite.
Winner. AT-AT.
Finally is the abstract project. The purpose of this project was to take an object and assign it a meaning that it doesn't normally have. I decided to use a rubber band to represent anxiety. Here's that project. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you was my graphics package. This was an assignment we had to make graphics for our school's 2 news shows, This Week on Campus and WIT AM. This Week on Campus, or TWAC, it was a weekly show every Friday, and WIT AM was Monday through Thursday. So we'll start with the images first and then go on to the videos / moving things. So first up is this name bar here. I've got room for a name and title. It says This Week on Campus in the corner, and it's also editable in Photoshop. So if I want to change the title to Awesome Person, it'll do that, and it even kind of expands to the side here. And then there you go, it can be edited just like that. And of course, that's not the only name bar I have. I've also got one for 2 people, like the other one. These text boxes are still editable. And here's one for WIT AM as well. WIT AM would only have 1 news anchor, whereas TWAC would usually have 2 and sometimes a guest. So that's why WIT AM just has 1 name there. Here's the weather. Like with the previous graphic, the text is editable. It's just hyphens in here, but this would be the slide we use for the weather. The background is our school's logo, you know, WIT, Western Iowa Tech, with a comet because our school's mascot is the comets. I basically just copied and pasted the logo on top of itself and lined it up so it looked like it was continuing into itself. And on the part where it says graphic goes here, that's where we would have a little picture of the sun or a rain cloud or whatever, depending on what the weather was that day. This is the comet from the WIT logo. You'll see why I have this in just a second here. So we'll go ahead and move on to videos now. First up is the super, which we would have when multiple people are talking. It's got the background from before, and it's animated, just kind of a little wavy to look cool, and it can just repeat. I just have it set to 10 seconds, but it can be longer or made to loop. And these boxes are where videos would go of people talking. So like maybe the anchors would go on this side, and then the person being interviewed would go over here. This is something we would do for a weather person, for example. And I also have it for 3 boxes, if there's 3 parties being interviewed, as well as 4. Another thing that I made is this background. I just have that isolated on its own without any boxes in front, just in case it needs to be used for a green screen background, for example. Or maybe it could be a cool screensaver, I don't know. Alright, so next up is the intros. We'll start with the WIT AM intro because that one's more simple. So that comet being on fire there you saw, that's this. I made this in After Effects with a magma effect, and I edited the colors so that it looked more like flames rather than lava. I basically just isolated the comet from the logo and put a filter over it in After Effects. So now we'll go ahead and look at the intro for This Week on Campus. And then this part at the end is where the Stainer graphic would go, which is something that they already have at the studio. So yeah, that's about all that there is to it. Thank you very much for viewing my demo reel, and I hope you consider me.